So in a very boomerific way, and it is squarely on that generation because you guys are in charge of this industry. The accounting industry is facing a shortage. And many articles written in the professional publications and the trade publications in the accounting fields, like, Accountants Quarterly, Nerd Weekly, and Can't Get Laid Monthly. I kid. I think an accountant or two has gotten laid in his or her lifetime, but there are professional trade publications, and there is an accounting shortage. Employers can't find accountants, and not enough accountants, and then Chad and I, it's incredibly frustrating where we're on the ground floor, more so him than me because he's actually worked in accounting, but I've been adjacent to it and I've pulled data. I can research it. And just the past 10 years alone of where they've made it increasingly more difficult to become a CPA by now effectively requiring a master's degree in any state or territory in the United States to sit for the exam. And then you say, well, maybe you shouldn't make it that you have to get a master's degree to sit for the exam. And maybe if you really want to make it easy, why don't you just keep the exam and make people self study so you don't have to have a college degree at all? Oh, no, God Almighty. I'm trying to think of another instance where you're pressing down on the scale this way and complain that the scale go up that way. You're the cause of the problem. And it is fascinating to watch these articles being written by a bunch of gray hairs. And Chad and I have gone over it over at the Elkins Accounting Hour, which you should subscribe to if you're interested in the wonderful world of accounting. And man, it's that same Scooby Doo mystery thing. They're like, well, we did some research. Oh, did you, Herman Honkwiller? You did. Tell us what you think the solutions are. Well, we need more community outreach programs to the young kids nowadays. Mhm. We gotta show young kids that accounting is cool. Now with those glasses you ain't, uh, more diversity and inclusion. Oh, that's the answer to no matter what. The nuclear reactor isn't where, oh, we need more diversity and inclusion and outreach any problem in the United States. Well, the highway's buckling because of all we need more diversity and inclusion outreach programs. That magically solves everything accordingly. But it just shows you how out of touch they are. Now, that was all true, except for one shining beacon of hope, and it came out of left field, and I didn't see it. But a Minnesota state legislator offered a bill that would, I think it said the Minnesota, which I don't understand. So it's the Minnesota state? I thought it was the Minnesota CPA board or the Minnesota CPA Society because it's an industry, it's self-regulated. But somehow this is going to the government. The state government says, no, we're going to limit the amount of college credits you need to sit for the CPA exam. So I don't know exactly how that works, but apparently maybe the Minnesota government is involved in setting the amount of hours required to sit for the CPA exam. And the bill offered was saying, hey, we're going to reduce it from 150 down to 120. This will allow us to fast track more people into becoming accountants. And my have everyone's all concerned. Employers aren't finding enough accountants. We employers need more accountants. Not to mention, it might make it easier for young people to find a living wage. But never mind that. I don't think about the people you purport to help. So I was like, well, what happened to that? I knew it was advancing through the state Congress, the state legislature. Sad news. No, it's sad news for. It's sad news for you employers and all you governments and incompetent fuckwits that make it so fucking hard for young people to get employed and for regular people to do a job. That's who it's unfortunate for. You're gonna have higher costs, you're gonna have continued labor shortages, and for you governments who just honest to God, there's some simple fucking things you can do that are apolitical and would help everyone, and you all can't do it. You just can't fucking do it. And as I've pointed out to my predominantly younger audience, is to not have any faith or trust in you fuckwits, not because you're government officials or big four corporate fuckos. It's because you're incompetent. because you're stupid. You're slow, you can't make decisions, and you're not leaders. There's no fucking reason this should have stalled in the Minnesota legislature. There's no fucking reason right now that every CPA society in every state right now shouldn't be holding emergency meetings. Hey, we got to knock it the fuck off with this ridiculous level of educational requirements to sit for the CPA exam. Matter of fact, we as a nation of CPAs, all of us CPA societies in every state should really go to the national government and say, you need to simplify the tax code because we can't keep enough accountants and CPAs and tax accountants to do their jobs. They're leaving because it's too complicated. Not to mention the average person can't possibly hope to do it. You're making it impossible. No, no, no. Oh, we took a poll through MTV and they said if we wore our hats sideways and did a rap called the accounting rap pat 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 pat, that would get people to apply for accounting majors more. That's what it said. You make shit impossible for people to do. And then you're like, oh my God, why are people doing it? And honestly, for you young kids out there, go tune into the Elkins Accounting Hour. Go search. Trying to remember what the title would have been. Scooby-Doo Mystery, how to the accounting shortage, maybe look at it. We go through several articles, and my gosh, are you boomers out of touch? I don't know how. Okay, fine. Haha, funny boomer. You're older. You're gray hairs. It's true. Okay, fine. But come on. How are you so fucking stupid? How are you accounting leaders so fucking stupid? I'm half tempted to start like doing a weekly thing where I go after the president of each CPA society in each state, just so the name hits the radar. What? What's going on? I don't know. Where am I? Who am I? Come on, baby, light my fire. We need to get PhDs before you can sit for the CPA exam. What are you, a bunch of fucking golems protecting your trade by with the ring? My precious. Well, we can't find accountants, but we can't lower the standards. So here's an article I found on what happened. Minnesota CPA's eye 2025 after 120-hour bill stalls. The bill would have allowed Minnesota CPAs to obtain a license with just 120 credit college hours rather than the 150 hours now required. A Minnesota bill that would have allowed future certified public accountants to obtain a license with just 120 college credit hours rather than the 150 current credit hours stalled in the state's legislature this year, leaving the Minnesota Society of Certified Public Accountants looking to capitalize on rising interest in similar initiatives nationwide to help push similar legislation over the finish line next year, according to Gino Fragnito. Kind of a cool Gino Fragnito. Bibbity bobbity bobbity boo accountant. How you doing? Fragnito, hey, you got that balance sheet yet? Director of Government Relations for the Minnesota CPA. The bill initially introduced in 2023 was the subject of hearings this year, was on track to be included in a larger omnibus package. Oh, you fucking cocksuckers. You just can't pass a good piece of legislation without tacking on a bunch of other political horse shit, huh? God damn, you worthless piece of people. God damn, man. How hard would it have been? 120 by show of hands. Boom, done. Now we've made it easier for a generation of younger Minnesotans, but you don't give a fuck about those people. But can I get my pet project on this one too? Well, the lawmakers failed to take action on the broader bill before the legislative session ended in May, he said in an interview. Instead, Minnesota's legislature came to a chaotic end amid rising political tensions, leaving some issues to fall by the wayside at the end of the session. By the way, just so you know, Minnesota, they did finally vote to change the state flag. That was really important. They did manage to change the state flag. So all you young people who thought, well, maybe I could become accountant and have a living wage. I mean, no. But you got a nice new flag. That's really important. Despite the setback, Fragnito said he is hopeful for a similar bill will be introduced and passed next year as a majority as major industry players explore reducing the college credit hour requirement as a way to address the decline in college students entering the profession. And what, another year of students just gotta go into more debt, huh? I Young people don't have a lot of money, and they don't have a lot of time. Could you just make it easier for them? Could you prioritize that? When we first started on this, we were out there on the cutting edge, he said. Now more and more states are recognizing that, yes, we can do something. And this is one of those tools that we have where we can make some incremental change. Again, I'm going to just for you young people that have hope that maybe, let me explain to you something about the adults that run this nation. It took Silicon Valley corporate people 3 decades, 30 years to realize that they should move out of Marx's shit street filled California. They're just doing it now. 2024, mid 2024, finally the people in Silicon Valley are wake up saying, "Hey, wait a second. Been 30 years of high taxes and regulation, and now they're letting people shit on the streets. The hell's going on here?" Well, after a quarter century, we won't tolerate that for long. We're Facebook, we're Amazon. Maybe we should move to Texas or Florida where there's no state income tax. Or Democrats shooting up heroin as they shit them pants in the street. That's how long. Oh, by the way, and getting robbed blind and crime. That's how slow leaders of America go. They're like the slow skis from the cable commercial. Get on, put on your hoop skirt, little lady. Let's roll real slow. They're the slow skis. 10, 15 years when you guys are in your younger 30s, it could have maybe really helped you. They might get around for your kids to be able to go and attend school, not for 8 years to sit for the CPA exam. In recent years, CFOs and finance department recruiters have been grappling with the shrinking pool of U.S. accounting professionals, leaving industry concern narrowed in on the decline in college students choosing to pursue the accounting track. Reducing the time and cost of the education needed to be a CPA and raising starting salaries are among the strategies posited for tackling the talent problem, with both included in a draft report published by an independent task force convened by the American is. Dude, pass the fucking bill. We had a commission to set up a committee to do a research, to have a pre-meeting about the regular meeting, to discuss the possibility, the potential of discussing the theoretical chances of maybe. Come on, baby, light my fire. The growing calls for change should help a bill on the issue gain momentum in the Minnesota legislature next year. Fragnito said, holy shit. I think there's a much broader recognition that something in his name. Here's the good news. Let me tell you the good news. All right. For those of you got CPAs, the shortage is going to continue. The government is not going to do any. This is one state government. This isn't even nationwide. This is just one state government talking about the theoretical concept of holding a pre meeting to the pre meeting to the pre meeting to about having a meeting about maybe discussing some shit. For those of you that already got your CPA, you're golden. For those of you who are looking to get in accounting, you're also golden, but you don't have to get your CPA. Matter of fact, unless you want to have a family or you were like, you really want to become a corporate CPA, man, and work for the big four, there is no reason for you to get your CPA. There's such a shortage of accountants right now that if you're just a competent bookkeeper or an enrolled agent, you have a degree in accounting or better yet, years of experience. But man, there is no reason to go for the CPA. And they're going to outsource. They're going to have to start hiring people who can simply do accounting, and then a CPA is going to sign on it. That's where this is going. And so it is an opportunity for you. But you know what? They're going to keep the shortage. They're going to keep the shortage going on. That means wages are going to be high. So you don't even have to get your CPA, but man, accounting is still looking like a good industry to get into. Fragnito also said there's now an emerging solution for one matter that has drawn opposition to the 120-hour rule. The concern that altering licensure requirements will lead to a patchwork of rules that will reduce accountants' liability to travel and work in states where they are not licensed. Anything to prevent it from happening, right? What what you all can't get your accounting act together? Say, "Hey, we're having a meeting, all 50 presidents of the accounting council. Assemble the council of nerds." You can't get fucking fucking hell. With regard to that so-called mobility issue, he believes that Minnesota or other states could address that by making it so the state would recognize any licensed CPAs as long as they are in good standing. As it stood this year, the bill in the legislature provided two paths to becoming a CPA. The new alternative would require 120 hours of college coursework, roughly the equivalent of 4 years of college, and 2 years of work experience. And the other requires 150 hours, effectively 5 years of college, and 1 year of work experience, he said. In both cases, the candidate would also need to pass the CPA exam. Link below is a course called The World's Greatest Accounting Career. In it, we acknowledge that there is a thing called the CPA. In it, we acknowledge that if you get your CPA, it is the highest certification in the accounting profession, and you probably never have to really worry about work again. However, if you are thinking about going into accounting as a career, but you are intimidated, understandably, by the ridiculous educational costs and requirements to sit for the CPA exam, I would like to let you know that you do not need to get a CPA to be an accountant, that there are other things you can do, like a bookkeeper or an enrolled agent or a cost accountant, other things of which me and Chad go into great lengths and details on how to do that. And you might also be happy to know some of these paths don't even require a college degree. Yes, it requires studying, but you do not have to pay for college degree. And while the bureaucratic, incompetent baby boomer horseshit continues on and makes it harder and harder for young people to become a CPA and other profession more professionally, that is actually good news for those of you who just want to become accountants or are looking for a job, because you don't have to become a CPA. The demand for work will spill over into non-CPAs. Demand for it will go up. And you can also do this remotely and self-employed after a certain number of years working for someone else. It is absolutely possible. So, yes, it is a pain in the ass. Yes, it is stupid. Yes, you are. God damn it, there should be a lawyer come in. You are discriminating against young people. I'm dragging you all into court right now. That might work. But while this is bad, it actually is good for those of you who would like to become accountants, just not CPAs. And then when it's like the Roman Empire, when they ran out of real soldiers, they started hiring mercenaries. The big four and the accounting firms are gonna, we can't find enough CPAs. Quick, hire the non-CPAs, but do it through 1099 so we don't lose our reputation. And then you CPAs sign off on the non-CPA work. Link to this course below, The World's Greatest Accounting Career. It's a weekend. Why don't you take? Are you interested in becoming an accountant? It's the weekend. Take the course. I think it's like 6 hours long. It's $150. It would definitely be worth it if you're considering accounting career, because it just simply saves you the money. I still get questions. Is this a good school for accounting? Any school, as long as it's accredited, is a good school for accounting. Go to where it's cheap. Go online, as long as it's accredited. Oh, yeah, I just saved you $80,000 a year not going to Harvard for a fucking degree, or the degree you need, but it doesn't have to have the Harvard name on it. The World's Greatest Accounting Career. Link below. It's also available on Teachable. You just search World's Greatest Accounting Career. Also, search for the Elkins Accounting Hour. Tune in to Vlad Elkins. You can learn more about the wonderful world of accounting. The Black Blur, $5. Wow, I haven't seen you in forever, Cappy. Job promoted 3 months ago, and I'm so busy I couldn't keep up with the content. That's all right. You don't have an obligation. Like, most of my friends and family don't listen to me because they know me. They've had enough of my shit. They don't want to listen to me anymore. Like, I've tolerated him for this long. And you do know you can listen to it It doesn't go anywhere, right? You don't have to listen to it live. But it's good to see a Black Blur. I'm glad that you got promoted. Glad to see that things are going well. Jesse Reeves, $5. Got my accounting degree from Western Governors University. Thanks to you. Good for you. What did it set you back? Was it like depending on where, how many credits you had when you went in? It's what, $6,000 a year, and you could take as many courses as you can handle. So I'd imagine it was what, 12,000 for your degree. Working on certification for bookkeeping. Dream is to work fully remote on my own business. That's it. That's exactly what I mean. It's one of several outcomes that the course is designed for, but I'm glad to see you're going down that path. And me and Chad, Chad, he's gotten a lot of people down the enrolled agent path. You go, what's the enrolled agent? Take the course and find out. Not you, Jesse. But yeah, this is exactly what I like to see. I love it. I love it. You went to Western Governors University. Saved yourself a shit ton of money. Shit ton of time, too, not to commute to a damn physical school and sit and buy books. All right, there you go. Link below. I'm done for the week. I'm gone for the weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.